Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Speak Up Now podcast. And I'm your host, Darius Silver, aka Mr. GQ, back with another conversation, back with another hot topic, and back with another discussion that's gonna make you, the viewer, you, the people, and you, society, think twice about your life. Think twice about how you feel, and think twice about how the things that goes into your mind. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to bring another episode to you guys. I'm happy to bring some more. Whoa. What are you doing? You forgetting to hit the subscribe button? Stop it. What are you doing? You watching the Speak Up Now podcast and you watching your host Darius Silver, aka Mr. GQ, give you some unbelievable content. What are you doing? I need you to subscribe right now. Check out my social media platforms that you see on the screen, Facebook, Instagram, and this platform, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you continue to tune in and watch the full episode. Come on now. This is the Speak Up Now podcast, where we're inspiring others to speak up and do better. Come on now, subscribe. Come on, subscribe. All right, let's get you back to the full episode. Boom, more motivational content to the people around me and to my viewership. So, I'm back, I'm happy. There's no way to explain this. So if you're a new viewer, thank you for tuning in. If you're a returning viewer, you know what it is. Much love always to you. So if you are ready for today's episode, and if you're a new viewer, make sure you pay attention to how we do things around here. And if you're a returning viewer, say it with me. Let's ride. So for today's episode, I want to say it's a bad topic or a bad discussion, but it's a discussion that I feel like that many people don't talk about. It's a discussion I feel like it's healthy and important, but some people don't really talk about. So for today's topic is in life, for male or female, do you think a Democrat and a conservative can be in a relationship with each other? When I say relationship, I'm talking about marriage, full-on boyfriend and girlfriend, full-on fiance, etc. So that's what I mean by that. Do you think the Democrat, male or female, could be married or be in a relationship with a Republican or conservative, male or female? And I'm gonna give you my take on that on this episode, but I want you guys to think about that as well and your thoughts and with your mind and thoughts. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that can happen? And do you think it will be longevity to it? And do you think that's a healthy relationship? I'm gonna give you my opinion on it, but I want to let that sink in before I give you my opinion on it. So do you think so? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know on social medias whatsoever. So, and I'm gonna say how I feel too about if I can see myself ever being in one of those scenarios. So, do I think a Republican or a Democrat can be in a relationship? First thing I would say, it's happened before where in life, before I was born, or it was happy I was, and probably after I've been born as well, there's probably been many relationships where in life that we don't know about, and there's relationships in life that we do know about, that where Republican women or men are in relationships with Democrats or whatsoever, liberals, whatsoever. It's been in physical relationships or full-on relationships. That's just the fact of life. So has it happened before? Yes, and more than likely will it keep on happening in the future? Yes, more than likely. But do I think it's healthy, or do you think it should be done? Personally, I feel like everybody deserves to feel how everybody deserves to feel how they want to feel towards someone, no matter their political stances. I can speak for myself. Do I see myself, can I ever see myself in a long-term relationship with a Republican or conservative? More than likely, no. More than likely, no. Do you think it's longevity towards that? No. Would it be? Could longevity happen? Of course, anything can happen, but chances of that happening with disagreements, longevity probably not will happen. you guys, the Republican and conservative, can talk to their issues at once, talk about why they feel this way, why they feel that way, and hey, they might be attracted to each other physically and personality-wise, but and sometimes being attracted to someone physically and mentally, sometimes that overrides their political stances sometimes, and sometimes people can change. That's another thing why people feel like that's another reason why I want to bring up is like people can change. A Republican can change how a Democrat feels, and they can live happy ever after. And a Democrat can change how a Republican feels, especially if they love each other, and they can live happy ever after. So do I think it's possible? Yes. Do you think it's gonna be a big trend? Do I think it's gonna be a big trend going to happen over time? No. I mean, it's gonna be periodically spurts where there's Democrats and Republicans that are entwined with each other in physical relationships or real blown-on relationships and marriages. And there's a couple marriages out there in the world where a Republican and a Democrat is married to each other. But I don't think it's gonna be a full-blown where society think that's gonna be normal. Because most of the time, no matter if you're male or female, if you're a Republican, they don't want to deal with Democrats. Let alone work with them or having a conversation with them, but let alone being in a relationship with them. That's the difference. So do I think this a trend that's gonna happen over time? No. Can it? What? Or there's gonna be periodically the spurts where it happens? Yes. But it's not gonna be a trend where you can see it day in and day out, year by year, month by month, whatsoever. No. Is it healthy? Love is love. And I've always been an advocate where love is love. Everybody deserves who they love. Everybody deserves who they feel towards that with, and everybody deserves to have that companionship in life, no matter who they are. You know. So if that goes with a Republican and a Democrat, they feel some type of way towards each other, love whatsoever, no matter their political stances. When one asks how do they come to that, knowing that they're on both sides of the aisle, they're two different sides of the aisle, but love can happen in a heartbeat. So do I think it's healthy? That's hard to answer because every situation is different. Would I support a relationship where a Democrat and Republican in a full relationship? In my opinion, two things. One, won't be none of my business in real life. In real life, again, like someone loves who they love, like I said. So and whatsoever. So it won't be none of my business. And then two, again, I keep on asking myself, is it healthy? It can be and it cannot be. It's 50-50 because I'm like, if those two people have had those conversations where they know each of their family ties or feel some type of way towards each other, and they already prepared mentally and had those real deep conversations where this is how it is on my side, this side is on my side. Do you really want to go through with it? And they've had those conversations. Sure, it can be healthy, but when those two sides come to a table, come to terms, and feel like things has not been as perfect as they thought they would be, or how it end up like they thought they would be, it won't be healthy. And chances 9 out of 10, it won't be healthy long term, longevity wise, to answer that questions. And not to mention that it's not just about being physically attracted to someone and mentally attracted to someone, but when families are involved, especially when it comes to political stances, things get real deep and messy quickly, especially in this day and age. Back 1990s, 1980s, 1970s, early 2000s, could it work? Way more into the generation? Sure, because social media, the media, and anybody with a phone and a microphone or someone with a camera wasn't speaking their opinions about every situation. Everybody was minding their own business back then. So it probably could, work out a little bit better than it will work out in this generation. If that would happen in this generation, there were so many eyes would be turned, so many whispers, so many rumors, so many, stuff like that. So it wouldn't, is that you facing two different scenarios. But deep down, a Republican and a Democrat being in a full-blown relationship, could it happen? Yes. Is it any of our businesses? Is it any of our business if it happens or not? No. But you can't judge someone whoever you fall in love with, bro. You just can't do it. No matter if they're Republican, Democrat, Republican, Independent, Democrat, Independent. You can't judge anybody off of that. If you happen to love someone, physically, mentally, personality-wise, emotionally, spiritually, and that's who you want to be with, you gotta accept them for who they are. Personally, could I see myself marrying and being in love and going to full out for someone that has different views than me? No. Not to mention, I'm not gonna say that someone has to believe in everything I believe in, but you have to believe in the most basic stuff that I believe in. Same things for the female side. That's why it's called companionship. Do you guys meet? Do you guys share the same companions and love and personality stuff and things in life? That's what relationship is. So, do I see myself being with someone who shares different views and sees the world differently than I do? More than likely, no, and I'm okay with that. That's from a man's perspective, and I guarantee you a woman would feel the exact same way about if they're Republican or Democrat. They won't want to be with someone who feels differently and views things differently than they do. That's just a fact of life. And like I said, again, not to stop that people who fall in love with each other, two political sides. And yes, chances are it might happen. It happens in life. And when we think about life, anything happens. We think about that. And especially when love and physical attraction happens, anything can happen. So I'm not gonna speak down on people who do it, who feel like they could be with someone who views stuff differently. But people who can't do it, you have to respect them as well. You can't look down on them as well. Some of them just believe what they believe in. And I wish people could be more open in today's generation. When it comes to political stuff, that's probably the most deepest subject that anybody could talk about, in my opinion. Because it affects a lot, not just the two people or the two persons. It affects their livelihoods, it affects their families, it affects their peers around them, how people see them as people. So it's not an easy subject to talk about. And I want to voice my opinion about that because that's something that I never really talked about. Okay, this topic really came to my mind. A couple of weeks ago, and it's been in my mind ever since. Could it really happen? Can it happen? And I think it could. But I'm not gonna be a person who judge if it does happen or not. Many people are going to disagree with me on this topic, and that's fine. But the people who see this subject or topic in a different light, just by just thinking about it, you got to respect them as well. And that's what hot topics and a hot take is all about. I mean, everybody's not going to agree with what I say, and everybody's not going to agree with what other people say out there. All least you can do is respect what they say, and that's where I'm at with that. Love is love. Love is going to happen. Has happened before. Yes. Will happen again. Yes. Can you change how it happens? No. Only thing that you really can say is why. And the main reason why they're gonna say because I wanted to, or because That's how they feel towards someone. You can't say nothing else. So, that's the subject of, that's the hot take. One of my best hot takes I've had in a long, long time. I'll say this too. When you think about DC, Washington DC, the political capital of the world, you know how much stuff happens in DC, Republican or Democrat, Independent. You know how much stuff behind closed doors happens with two sides of the aisle, if it's two men or two women, or one man and one, and they both sides. You know what stuff happens behind the scenes? Think about that. And when you think about, there's many Republicans are friends with Democrats too. That's not people understand that. There's many people out there that are Republicans and Democrats who are close knitted as friends. They join them as a friend to talk to. Vice versa. People don't get mad at them for being respectful and cordial to each other, but Republican and Democrat being blessed with each other, and that's where it gets a little tricky. So let that sink into your mind too, that DC is a pure example of three sides of the aisle being entwined with each other, friendship-wise and romantically-wise, where anything can happen. So let that sink into your mind as well, So I'm on the side. I'm on the side where it can happen. It is what it is. We live in 2025, going beyond. Anything can happen in this world. So that's my stance on it. What's your stance on it? Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know why. Let's rock out. Let's end this episode the right way. So if you're a new viewer, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hopefully getting to this part of the video. If you're a returning viewer, thank you as always. And let's end this thing out the right way. As my man Carmelo Anthony says, stay mellow. Keep that mellow mind. Stay focused and on the narrow path. And my man Cameron says, you got one finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. Boom.